Hey class. Okay, so on Monday we started talking about the immune system. And today, actually, what we did was we started talking about the immune system, went into the two different types, and we talked a little bit about the innate immune system, which is our non specific defense system. And we talked about the adaptive immune system and that it's a specific defensive system. And we talked a little bit more in detail about the innate immune system. This video is going to cover an overview of the adaptive defenses. And then the next video is going to look at humoral immune response. And then I may do another one on cellular, but I may not. We may cover that in class instead. So let's get going. So again, the adaptive immune system is going to be a specific defensive system, which means that a particular cell is going to be going after a particular pathogen. Now, there is a shortcoming, and that is the fact that it has to be primed by an initial exposure to some sort of a foreign substance. This priming takes time. So we have some characteristics of adaptive immunity. One is that it's specific. We've already talked about this. It's going to recognize and target specific antigens. Now, an antigen is anything foreign that elicits, well, not necessarily anything foreign. We just say anything that elicits an immune response. Going back to the characteristics of adaptive immunity, so we have it's specific, it's systemic, not restricted to the initial site. Third thing, has memory. So remember, the kind of downside to this particular defense system is the fact that it needs to be primed, and priming takes time. The cool thing is, once it's primed, it has memory. And the next time you are exposed to whatever it is, your immune system is going to mount an even stronger attack to those subsequent exposures. So we have two main branches of the adaptive system. We have humoral immunity and we have cellular immunity. Humoral immunity is also called antibody-mediated immunity, and cellular immunity is also called cell-mediated immunity. So when we're looking at humoral immunity, we're going to be looking at lymphocytes that are producing these things called antibodies, and we're going to go into what antibodies are in more detail in the next video. But they're going to circulate freely in our body fluids. What the antibodies are going to do is they're going to bind temporarily to a target cell. It's going to, for a short period, like a temporarily inactivate it, and or it may mark it for destruction by phagocytes. Cellular immunity is a little bit different. The lymphocytes are actually going to act against the target cell either directly or indirectly. Directly, it may just straight up kill it. Indirectly, it may release chemicals that are going to enhance the inflammatory response or activate other lymphocytes or macrophages. Remember macrophages, big eaters. So we got that out of the way. Now we move into talking about antigens. Remember, I actually just defined antigens a moment ago. Anything that's going to invoke an immune response or provoke an immune response. These are going to be targets of all adaptive immune responses. Most antigens are going to be large, they're complex, they're normally not found in the body. And there are some characteristics of antigens. They can be complete or they can be incomplete. And incomplete antigens are known as haptens, and we're going to look at what haptens are in, I think, 2 slides. They contain these things called antigenic determinants, and I'm going to show you a slide about that. And they can also be self-antigens. So again, antigens, complete or incomplete. When we talk about complete antigens, they have to